write the vision, make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Now, I submit to you that there are those of us who have visions, but don't write them. And there are more of us who have visions and write them, but we don't write them plainly. We don't write them plainly. When I'm coaching about intention writing, I tell my client or those who are in the audience, I said, your intention should be a sentence of 6 words or less. Let's do a an experiment. Tell me about your day. Give me a sentence about how your day was using 6 words or less. And I actually recommend you use all 6 words. So give me a 6-word sentence describing how your day was. A 6-word sentence describing how your day was. So we may in fact have the vision and we may even write the vision, but do we make the vision plain? Do we make it plain? Is it still complex, complicated, full of nuance and metaphors and similes and abstractions? Or is it plain? Now, here's how you know if your vision is plain or not. Your vision is plain when someone else can make sense of it. Your vision is plain until someone else can make sense of it. If nobody else knows, if nobody else gets it, if nobody else can make sense of it, you have a vision. You absolutely 100% have revelation from heaven, but you have no articulation for your revelation. And sometimes the next step for a team, for a contract, for expanding your enterprise has little to do with your revelation and everything to do with your articulation. It's not enough that the dream makes sense to you. It's not enough that the vision makes perfect sense to you. If you're looking for funding, if you're looking for support, if you're looking for resources, if you're looking for access, if you're looking for a door open on your behalf, that other person, that other industry, that other institution, that other family member needs to understand what you received. Some of you are not small because your revelation is small. You're small because your articulation is small. It is written, write the vision and make it plain. And make it plain. So some of us have visions. God bless you, Mambo. Good to see you. Some of us have visions. That's great. Some of us even write the vision. But when you write the vision, you've put it into Chat GPT. And you know Chat GPT can do anything and everything but make it plain. It will convolute, it will extrapolate, it will abstractify, it will give you 6 paragraphs, it'll give you 10 lectures and 2 essays, and still you don't understand. Hasn't made it plain. You can tell folks who love their chatbot because they're on social media and they're only supposed to be allowed 140 characters and they've put in 10. They've already got 10 paragraphs worth of stuff. They can't make the vision plain. We got bored and forgetful halfway through a scroll of what you're even talking about. Write the vision, make it plain. Write the vision, make it plain. Now, it's not enough to have the vision. It's not enough to write the vision. It's not enough to make the vision plain, but to make it plain upon tables. Mm. Now I'm going to unpack this a little bit because obviously, oh, I got the lightning bolt. Thank you. Because obviously, when we say write the vision upon tables, tables is short for tablets, a writing instrument, a notepad. I know we live in the day and in the time where we're just going to put it in our phone. We'll make a mental note of it. We'll do a voice to text, or we'll just make an audio memo. The scripture says, write it upon tables. Hmm? So, on the one hand, I want to submit to you that yes, you pull out your pen and your pencil and your pad, but I want to extrapolate, if I could, a little bit more and say not only upon tables as in tablets, but tables as in boardroom tables. Do you have a business plan with your vision? Have you arranged it and organized it in a way that those that sit at the seats and tables that can help you will understand it? Listen, I understand you got the revelation. I understand you got that $1 million idea and that life changing idea while you were deep in prayer, 40 days of fasting, and you were about an hour into tongues. Nobody can read tongues. Nobody can read tongues. If you give them people at the boardroom meeting, EDDIE, it's going to spell Eddie to them. Hmm? You need to write the vision and make it plain upon tables. Hmm? You can't go to a boardroom meeting and give them your prophetic journal and you done quicken over all night in prayer and fasting and you come up with a shit about a Honda. They're going to ask why didn't you get Toyota? People not going to want that. They can't use that. You've got to take your vision. You got to write your vision. You got to make it plain. It has to be legible upon tablets, write it upon tables. Not just your own table, but also the tables you're being called into. We're talking about taking it from vision, what to do with your vision, what to do with your vision. And we got a flash goal, three gifters to center rows in the next 15 minutes. We can do that. Okay. So, what are you going to do with your vision? Well, write the vision. Yes. Make it plain. Yes. Upon tables. Yes. And that still is not enough. It's not enough that you wrote the vision. It's not enough that you made it plain. You also have to make it exciting. Hmm? Don't just write the vision to explain, write the vision to excite. Notice what it says. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. That means that your vision should be written in such a way, full of emotion, full of excitement, full of interest, that whoever reads it's going to be intrigued by it and they're going to be stirred up by it. They're going to be quickened by it. Now that's good news. Jamil, good to see you. How you feeling? Let me do this.
Hey, what's going on? I feel I'm pretty good.
How you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. Can't complain. How are you?
Wonderful. Keep the folks busy a minute. I've got to run to pick up something as we're talking about the vision. Jamil, you ate today?
Uh, yeah, I did. What did I eat today?
I don't know. It sounded like your phone stomach was growling or something.
You said my stomach is growling?
And I could hear it all the way across town.
Nah, that wasn't me.
That's not you? Okay. That's somebody.
I had some calamari though that I had actually burned. I had messed up some calamari. It wasn't that bad.
And it came to pass. It never comes to stay. The vision always comes to pass. So write the vision, make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Why? Why is that necessary? Why is it necessary not only to write the vision, but to write the vision and make it plain? Not only that, but to write the vision, make it plain, upon tables. Not only that, but to write the vision, to make it plain upon tables so that the ones that read it will run. Why is that necessary? Why isn't it just enough to have a vision? Why isn't it just enough to write it down? Why isn't it just enough to have your perfectly crafted intention statement? Why must it be written down and made plain so that he may run that readeth it? Verse 3, the saint is in, good to see you. Because the vision is yet for an appointed time. The vision is not for right now. This is one of the top 4 reasons why prophets shipwreck. There are 4 reasons why prophets shipwreck. This is one of them. Prophets shipwreck because they'll have a dream, they'll have a vision, they'll get an oracle will fall with their name on it. They'll hear the word of the Lord, and then they'll take that and apply it to the right here and the right now. They will hear in their spirit, it's time to move. And they start looking for other houses that same night. They ain't got a job the first. They hadn't finished school. Nothing. Their credit is shot, but they up and ready to move. The vision is yet for an appointed time. In other words, just because you heard the word today doesn't mean that the word is for today. You got to understand that. That oracle may be to today, but it's not for today. Yeah. Yeah, we just heard that on the news earlier from yesterday. Well, 2 days ago now. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. God bless you, Derek. But at the end, it shall speak. Sometimes we're wanting our vision to speak right now. Sometimes we're wanting our vision to speak right now, but it only speaks at the end. How many of you remember the movie Harry Potter? And in the first movie, he's in a Quidditch match. And in that Quidditch match, he gets uh the flying orb there, and it has an oracle on it. Now, most people don't know it's an oracle, but it is an oracle. The oracle says, I open at the close. I open at the close. Now, it's an oracle that will not be fulfilled for another 7 movies or 7 books until he goes into the dark forest. And then it opens at the close of his life. See, that's the vision. The vision is always speaking about the end. As I've said before, an entrepreneur can build for the future, but it takes a prophet to build from the future. Understand me. The prophet Isaiah said, the Lord spoke through him and said that I declare the end of a thing before its beginning. It's always from Z to A in the spirit world, never from A to Z. This is why the closer you get to it, the more sense it makes. Right? So the scripture says here that the vision should be written down and made plain upon tablets. Exactly. Exactly. So that he may run and readeth it. This is right here letting you know how to do a proper intention statement. Okay. Or name paper or prayer paper, whatever you want to call it, is right here in verse 2 of Habakkuk chapter 2. How many of you have done the homework? Let me know. Put it in the chat. Describe how your day was today with 6 words sentence. With a 6-word sentence. Describe how your day went today in a 6-word sentence. All right. This is how you write a petition paper. If it has you sitting there wondering, well, how do I do that? Well, how does that work? Then you need to really work on how to write a petition. All right. 6 words or less. Jamil, how was your day? 6 words or less.
Well, my day was pretty smooth.
My day was pretty smooth. All right. That's 5 words. Derek, 6 words or less. How was your day?
The project was long and eventful.
My day was long and eventful. All right. So he says, write the vision, make it plain upon tables. If you can fit in your petition paper 6 words or less, it's time to go back to the drawing board. You don't really understand what you're asking for. You got to distill that down, have a focused intention. It's showing a lack of focus. Our elders would tell us that when you write your petition paper, to write in an unbroken line, to write cursive. To write cursive. And why is that?
When you say unbroken line, does that mean like your pen never coming off the paper?
That's exactly it.
Okay.
That's exactly it. Write in an unbroken line. Why? Because a distracted mind can't do that. This is why I tell you all over and over and over again, don't use your phone, use your hand, use your pen, use your pad, use your pencil. Because the body and the mind are one. The body and the mind are not 2 sides of the same coin. They're not 2 parts of the same whole. They are one. The body and the mind have as many sides as a sphere does. How many sides are on a sphere?
Yeah, we're gonna say it's
Exactly. Exactly. The body and the mind are one. This is why now they're calling it the mind body. They don't call it your body and your mind. It's called the mind body. There is absolutely no distinction between your body and your mind in the discussion. So therefore, it is in your best interest to write, because if you're writing it with your body, you're also writing it with your what?
With your mind.
With your mind. So pick up your pad, pick up your pen, pick up your pencil, and write. Make that connection. Make that thorough, harmonious, holistic connection. All right. And they tell us that when you write your so-called petition paper, to write it in an unbroken line. Why? Because the only way you're going to write in an unbroken line is if you are focused, if you have unbroken focus. The moment your mind thinks of something else, you hear a sound, or you think about what am I supposed to be writing again, or whatever, your pen is going to lift off the paper. It's a knee-jerk reaction. It's going to break the line. Has nothing to do about how good your handwriting looks. Your ancestors taught you that for two reasons. One, to keep your focus. Jesus says, can you not pray with me for a single hour? Can you hold your attention? That is the most expensive thing you own. Not the shoes, not the bag, not the edges. It's your attention. It is so expensive and so valuable. It is the only thing people want from you, is your attention. Hmm? The only way to avoid paying in knowledge is to pay in attention. Excuse me, to pay in money rather. The only way to avoid paying in dollars and paying in cents is by paying in attention. Choice is yours. You can pay for it in attention, or you can pay for it in dollars and cents, but you still gonna have to pay. So if you're writing your intention, writing your petition, you write in an unbroken line. You wait to dot your I's and you wait to cross your T's. Right. Because what then happens is that you are now bringing the ether to focus at the tip of your pen. You're not just writing something casually. You are inscribing something into reality. You are chiseling this into the very fabric of creation. Understand that. Because the body and the mind are one, the mind is not seated somewhere behind your skull. No, the mind is manifest between the ink and the page. You've not written anything. You've just traced your mind on paper. Understand me. You've not written anything. You have traced your mind on paper. Hmm? In the same way your feet leave a track in the ground, you have foot track, what we call a trace of your body. In the same way, your words are the trace of your mind. People always asking, "Will you do a class on this and do a class on that?" Do your own class, read the scriptures, school yourself. I don't need to give you a 30-page book on how to write a petition. It's all right here in Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 2. The Lord answered me and said, write the vision. How should we write it? Make it plain upon tablets. not your iPad, upon a tablet. Inscribe it upon tables. I could go into turning to a sigil. I will leave that to those who have a mind and an ear for that. Write the vision, make it plain upon tables. How plain should you make it? Make it so plain that anyone that reads what you wrote will be just as excited as you were. Don't write it in a boring frame of mind. Write it excited. Write it when you're turned up, turned in, and turned on. Notice it says this, that your writing shouldn't just cause people to stand up. It should not cause people to walk about what you said or skip about what you said. It should cause them to run about what you've said. If your petition doesn't cause someone else to run when they read it, rip it up. Do it over. Let me be clear. Why am I telling you this? So you don't waste your time. There's no need figuring out what herb to put in the candle. We don't know what words to put on the page. At least do the free stuff right. The Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Why must it be so plain? For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Hmm? Your petition should be written in such a way that when people read it, they think you're lying. I know. I'm gonna give you a minute. I know you need me to know that one. I'm gonna let that one just do what it's doing. Yes, your vision, your petition paper, if you will, should be written in such a way that those that read it will be convinced you must be lying. So what does that tell you? That tells you that you should not be writing a petition in the future tense. Hmm? No one can lie about the future. We just call that a hope, a wish, an intention, a prayer, an aspiration, an ambition. You can only lie about the present or the past. So the fact that it says that the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie, indicates that when you write your petition paper, you should be writing it in the present tense. It should not be speaking about your future. It should be an expression of appreciation for your present. The Lord answered me and said, write the vision, make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. At the end, it shall speak. It's not going to speak right now. It's not going to make sense right now, but at the end, it shall speak and it will speak for itself. You want a petition that will speak for the end. You want a petition that will speak until the end. You want a petition that will speak to the end and summon it into the now. So you let crackers convince you that heaven is in some bygone era, that heaven is in some ethereal palace somewhere out there, up there in the sky, in the great by and by. Jesus never taught that. He never taught us to petition that way either. He said, when you pray, pray in this wise. He wasn't looking for some kingdom to come one day, maybe. That's how we found ourselves in the conniption that we're in now, waiting for some kingdom invasion from beyond the sky. I'm just waiting on the Lord, child. I'm just waiting on it. I tell you, I'm just waiting. You 82. You sure you ain't missed him? You still wait? I'm waiting on the Lord. I'm waiting. I tell you, I'm just gonna be patient and wait. That's indoctrination. That's churchianity. Christ never said no such nonsense. That's why he got results, because he didn't pray that way. If you want to see the dead raised and the sick healed and the lame walking and the dumb talking and the blind seeing, you got to pray like those who raised the dead and open up blind eyes and unstopped deaf ears. And he said, listen, if you want to pray like this, when you pray, pray like this. He told them specifically how to pray. And we've turned the how to pray into the what to pray. People out here using the Lord's Prayer like it's a magic formula. Just say that at the end and everything will just come together. Y'all tag on in Jesus' name like it's an incantation, like it's a stamp to get into heaven. Return to sender, return to sender. Oh, this one says in Jesus' name. Okay, let's open up that one. His disciples never asked him to teach them what to pray. They knew what to pray. They had the Psalms memorized. They knew what to pray. The Lord, teach us how to pray. Because what we praying ain't bringing miracles. What we praying ain't multiplying food. What we praying isn't open blinded eyes. What we're praying isn't casting out devils. What we're praying isn't raising the dead. It's not the issue of the what. Some of you don't need conjure development. You know what to do. You need coaching on how to do it. That's the issue. Is that Lord, teach us how to pray. He said, well, when you pray, pray like this. He didn't say, repeat after me. He said, pray like this. Here's your checklist for prayer. Here's your schematic. Here's your blueprint. Here's your prayer strategy. He doesn't give you a prayer list. He gives you a prayer template. He said, and when you pray, pray like this. Don't wait for some kingdom in the big blue sky in the great by and by. When Christ prayed, he prayed, thy kingdom come. Oh, okay. You forgot that part, huh? He pulled a scorpion on heaven. He said, "Get over here." So your open enemy has convinced you for so long to be trying to get over there. So you never try to get that over here. He said, when you pray, thy kingdom come. That's what you pray. You invoke heaven. You summon heaven. You pull heaven. You don't wait on it. It's waiting on you. It's been waiting on you. Don't take my word for it. Romans chapter 8 and verse 19. Says very plainly, for the earnest expectation of the creature or of creation waited for, waited for, waited for the revealing of the sons of God. You over here waiting on the Son of God, and the Son of God waiting on you. All of creation's waiting on you. While you're there playing with your toes and fiddling your thumbs, saying, I hope it works out. I'm hoping it works out. Creation is on its tippy toes, waiting with bated breath for you to summon and invoke heaven. What to do with your vision. This is why you have to write the vision in such a way that you are quickened to make a demand upon the heavens, that you are quickened to summon and invoke and call and conjure heaven here. Lady had a live a few days ago. I had to get in and get off because she had a live that said Christianity versus hoodoo and voodoo. I had to restrain my spirit. But I told her, I said, I've got a biblical mandate to conjure. What are you talking about? You're not reading my Bible. He told me to conjure heaven up. He said, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Not on earth, but in earth. That's an invocation. Write the vision, make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. Now, what to do with the vision? Why is God giving you a vision? It's not so that you can boast to your spiritual friends about how deep you are. No, the sovereign of the universe has bigger fish to fry than pumping up your ego with your small little clique. You've not been given a vision to boast about it. You've not been given a vision to make a party around it. You've not been given a vision to build a platform on it. That is not the purpose for your vision. See, this is why prophets need community. Prophets need community because many prophets need healing from rejection. When you have unhealed prophets, they make everything about them. Prophets who suffer from black sheep syndrome, prophets who suffer from rejection, fear of rejection, self rejection, prophets that have been unhealed from abandonment, prophets that haven't healed from scapegoat syndrome. You're always the weird one, the strange one, the one everybody blame, the scapegoat, the black sheep, the yada, the yada, the yada, and the yada. You need healing, prophet. You're not fit for ministry. It's not a denigration, it's a diagnosis. You need healing because your mouth is a weapon. And when you're not healed and you're not whole, you will hijack the word of the Lord to compensate for your lack of self esteem. You will use every opportunity to make it about you, to get the opinion, to get the affection, to get the affirmation that you did not get in your early prophetic development. This is why prophets need communities. You don't just need development, you need community. Getting your Google back prophetic certification is not going to help you in ministry. For the vision is not yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. And though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Now, if that is not the purpose of the vision, what is the purpose of the vision? The purpose of the vision, how does God get a vision manifested? What to do with your vision? Well, first of all, don't wait on God. Hmm? Look at this in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 1. If you have it, say I have it. Jeremiah chapter 1. Jeremiah chapter 1. So look at the Lord. In Jeremiah chapter 1, about verse number 12, I believe. Man, I type in one thing on the internet and it's just showing me ads for the past 4 days on this one thing. I'm over. I already know what I'm gonna buy. So I don't need any more ads.
Side B. You look for one thing and they just constantly flood you with ads of it.
Here we go. So you got Jeremiah chapter 1
Yeah.
and verse 12.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Then said the Lord unto me, Thou hast well seen, for I will hasten my word to perform it.
I will what?
I will hasten my word.
I will hasten my word to perform it. So when you get a vision, it's never a matter of I'm waiting on God. That ain't the issue. We see right here, God is anxious. He's willing. He's able. He's hastening. He's already running the track. He's getting warmed up. He's about to do the sprint to manifestation. If heaven is sending you the message by means of a vision, it's because heaven's already decided. Heaven's already decided. That's not what's that's not the question, right? What's the question? He says, I am ready to perform my word. So that means that if heaven is ready, why hasn't it already been performed? Any takers? He says, I'm ready to perform my word. Why hasn't it been performed yet? If the Lord identifies that he's ready, read that again, Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 12.
Then said the Lord unto me, Thou hast well seen. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. Thou hast well seen, for I will hasten my word to perform it.
Now look at uh verse 10.
See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms, to root out and to pull down, and to destroy and to throw down, to build and to plant.
Come on.
Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Jeremiah, what seest thou? And I said, I see a rod of an almond tree. Then said the Lord unto me, Thou hast well seen, for I will hasten my word to perform it.
So right there we see verse 10, 11, and 12. God shows him something. He already gets the vision. He checks with him. He confirms. I've already seen it. You've seen it right. You've seen it well. And then he says, I am ready to perform what you've seen. So by the time the prophet sees the vision, is already a settled thing. Remember our last discussion, we talked about dreams and the difference between dreams and visions. Visions happen in the mind of God. So you're already seeing divine intent. Then he says, I will hasten my word. I'm going to speed it up. I'm ready to make it happen, to bring it to pass. As I said before, visions never come to stay, they only come to pass. I'm ready to fulfill my word. I'm ready to bring it to pass. So clearly, the issue is not with God, beloved. If you've had, glory to God, If you have the vision, that's already an announcement from heaven that all of the cooperative components are already online. If you've got a vision from heaven, that lets you know out the gate that heaven has already backed it and has already allocated all of the necessary resources to bring it to pass. Heaven is in overtime if you're getting a vision. So if the issue is not with heaven, clearly the issue must be where?
With the person.
With the person, with you. So many people think that the prophecy is the end all be all. Well, that's a wrap. That's a done deal. No, all prophecy is an invitation. Understand that. Prophecy is not an inevitability. Prophecy is an invitation. It's an invitation into God's future for you, for your family, for your business, for your health, for your community, etc. Prophecy is an invitation. That vision is God showing you what's behind door number two. The price is right. They show you what's behind the curtain. God is showing you, and He is inviting you into His future. So it's not a end all be all just because you heard the word, just because you got the vision. The vision indicates an initiation. The vision is a introduction. The vision is an invitation. The vision is an invocation of what? Of the earth to get involved. It's an invitation. It's a chance. It's an opportunity. If you have a vision, if you got a prophetic word, it was an opportunity to do what? To co-create with God. To co-create with God. Co-create with God. So once you have the vision, the next thing that you need is a goal. This is why it is essential to write the vision and make it plain. If you don't do that, you won't be able to extrapolate the goal. What is God's goal in this vision? Right? Didn't matter if you see 5 years from now. For what? What's the goal behind the vision? In other words, what does this vision indicate or say or convey about God's intent? Why is this on the mind of God? Remember, visions happen in the mind of God. Why is this on the mind of God? What intention, what agenda can be extrapolated from that vision? So, what is a goal? Goals are general statements of intentions. Everyone wants to write a intention statement. Going to show you how to do that, how to do it properly, how to do it well. First of all, what is the intention? What is intention? Two forms here. A goal, number one. Goals are general statements of intent. Goals tell us what we want to achieve. Goals tell us how we want to change. Goals tell us what we generally want to look, be, or exist as at some future time. That's a goal. That's a goal. Goals, again, are general statements of intent. Goals tell us what we want to achieve, what we want to be, do, or have, or exist as at some future time. So once you've gone from vision, your next step, because God is hastening the work to perform it, He's doing His part. What's your part? When you get the vision, it comes with the baton. Right? We looked at this before, Job chapter 33, about dreams, that God seals in the dream, not just the interpretation of the dream, but the instruction, the next steps. Your vision has within itself, encoded within itself, your next steps. It's not about you talking about what God said He gonna do. No, you be talking to God about what you gonna do. If it's a vision, it's because God is ready to talk about your involvement in the plan. So from vision to goal, what's next? From the goal to the objective. Put that in the chat. Prophetic pipeline. Prophetic pipeline. That's what we're discussing. The prophetic pipeline. Because some of you have a word you've been sitting on for 4 years. You don't know what to do with it. God gave you a word all the way back in 2020. Prophetic pipeline. Because until you know where you are, or I should say, until you know when you are in the prophetic timeline, you won't know where you are in the prophetic pipeline, right? Because you need to know, are you waiting on God or is God waiting on you? You need to know that. Otherwise, you will delay the fulfillment or disperse it altogether because God will raise up another quickly, right? You have 2.5 years typically on a prophetic timeline, right? To stall and get grace. Jesus said, leave it for another year. If it does not bear fruit, I will hewn it down, I will bind it up, and I will throw it into the fire. Hmm? Why cumbereth the ground? Why cumbereth the ground? Derek, find that verse for me. Leave it one more year before you hewn it down. I think that's in, what's that in Matthew? Because here's the thing. You will hold up the timeline. And while you over here trying to hold up the timeline, God's over here and picked up somebody else to hold up to tap into the timeline. All right. You are replaceable. Yeah, I'm not saying it to be offensive. I'm saying that so that we can be practical here. You are replaceable. You don't have to be the Chris Brick of your family. Somebody else is ready. While you trying to get ready, they already been ready. You don't have to be the generational breaker of chains of your bloodline. Gotta raise up somebody else. It'd be nice if it was you. That'd be ideal. So the vision turns into a goal. From the goal, we pull out the objectives. What are the objectives? So both goals and objectives are intentions. Both goals and objectives are statements of intent. Goals are far more general and generic about the who we want to be, what we want to be doing, what we want to be having, how we want to look, how we want to be, how we want to act, how we want to exist as at some future date. But the objectives are more specific than goals. The objective is what is carried out that will enable the goal to be achieved. So goals are theoretical, objectives are pragmatic and practical. All right. It's gonna have to be a part two. I'm going to go into the ways to know because your objective needs two things. Your objective needs content and your objective needs form. Right? Reading right here out of our prophetic training manual. Did you find that verse?
That's Can you tell me one more time? What was it?
He said that he would cut it down after one more year.
Oh, what are you saying for?
He said, why cumber the ground? Okay. All right. So we have vision. And from vision, we go into goal. And from goal, we pull out the objective. And there are two things to consider when it comes to our objectives. We need to consider the content of the objective, number one. And Jamil, we also need to consider the form of the objective. I'm going to break down what I mean in just a moment. This is all coming out of your vision. Habakkuk 2 and 14. For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. That's not it. Luke chapter 13. I was saying to Kiana that you have about 2.5 years. And so in Luke chapter 13, we see this principle. In verse number 6, then Jesus told this parable, meaning he's giving us a principle. A man had a fig tree that was planted in his vineyard. He went to look for fruit on it, but did not find any. So he said to the keeper of the vineyard, look, for the past 3 years, I have come to search for fruit on this fig tree and haven't found any. That's us who say, I'm waiting on the Lord. I'm waiting on the Lord. In due time, in due time. It's going to come together. I'm just waiting on God. Okay. All the time, you waiting on him. You waiting on you. So we said to the keeper of the vineyard, look, for the past 3 years, I have come to search for fruit on this fig tree and haven't found any fruit. Therefore, cut it down. See that? After 3 years, it's a wrap as far as heaven is concerned. That's too much of a delay. When you're 3 years in, there's already been a spiritual delegation. There's already been spiritual deliberation. How many of you can attest to this? How many of you have ever had an idea that came to you? It might even been an invention. And you thought about it, you might have talked about it to a few folks. You let it go. And about 2 to 4 years later, you see it on TV, a commercial for it. See, somebody else has brought your idea to pass, your vision to pass. Because when the vision came, like Habakkuk said, you didn't run with it. You walked with it. You played hopscotch with it. You played jumping jacks with it. You played skip-de-loo with it. You didn't run with it. He said, write the vision that he may run that readeth it. Look, for the past 3 years, I have come to search for fruit on this fig tree and haven't found any. Therefore, cut it down. Why should it use up the soil? Sir, the man replied, leave it alone again this year until I dig around it and fertilize it. If it bear fruit next year, fine. But if not, you can cut it down. 4 years. That means if you are 2 years in, you're already halfway through. That's why I said you got about 2 years. Some of you been in a relationship, unfruitful for 3 years. I'm gonna give it one more year. We don't bear fruit. Time to cut it down. You've been at that job, not bearing any fruit for you. Time to cut it down. Some of you have a project God's put you on that you've delayed and put off and put off and put off and put off. I'll get to it when I get to it. I'll get to it when I've got time. I'll get to it in this. I'll get to it when that. Okay. And we love to say, what God has for me is for me. And that may or may not be true. I'm not here to judge that statement. But I can tell you this, so many things we think are for us are really for God. He just by his grace chose you to participate in it with him. His means to an end are irrelevant. If you are a yes, it'll be you today. If you stop being a yes, it'll be somebody else tomorrow.
Okay, this sort of reminds me of like when you've told me in the past about like one of these inspirations or like how when I come to you and I tell you how like these mental movies
Mm-hmm.
on like workings
Mm-hmm.
and um you've told me to like immediately write it down because it's not you think you're gonna save it in your mind and it's not and I've kind of taken what you've said with it. Whenever I get those inspirations, I immediately just jot them down, write it down, sort of flesh it out. Because just when I think that, I'm gonna remember it, I'm not. So this is kind of like reminding me of you've told me that in the past.
Least of all now than ever. All the people think they're gonna memorize stuff now. It's like no. You're way too distracted. People go to the bathroom with their phones in their hands. They're not memorizing anything. They're just not. We don't use our memory that way anymore. Or I should say, not as much. The human mind is being altered at a alarming speed. I mean, you ask the average person right now how many phone numbers they memorized besides their own. The phone number. 20 years ago, you had the whole Rolodex in your head saved. This is why David said, I've hid your word in my heart that I might not sin against it. So there's some things that when you're in that vision, you've got to keep your you got to keep your hand in the pot, so to speak. Because after 4 years, the energy's going to shift, right? That lets you know about the biblical cycle of a vision is about 4 years. Something to think about. Now, so you need two things when it comes to your objective. I want to go over that and then we're going to wrap up tonight, this morning, and we'll just come back and do a part two at another time. The two things that you need, I said, are going to be the content and the form of your objective. What do we mean by the content? So your objective, and this also for those of you who are doing prophetic coaching as well, your objective should be stated at the individual's level, hear me, of difficulty. Like literally asking the question about the objective. Is it doable? Is the objective doable? What I mean, are they doable? You have to have the objective at that person's level of difficulty. If a person can't get back and forth to work, or if a person can't get, if they can't travel in the city at will, they can't get on the bus or whatever, that's their level of difficulty. There are certain things they're not going to be able to do. It's just not doable for them. This is what I mean by the content of the objective. Ask the question, are they doable? The objectives given, are they doable? Number two, your second content question, are they acceptable? In other words, the objective should be real. We've talked about before about SMART goals, right? SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. What I'm talking about here concerning the objective, does the person accept this as an objective? I think it can be doable, but it's not acceptable to them for whatever reason. I just don't want to do it. It don't matter how easy you make it for them. It's not really even about it being easy. It's not acceptable to them. Objectives should be real in the sense that they describe the behavior that the individual actually intends to do something about. If you don't really have any intention to do anything, to change anything, you don't have an objective, you don't have a goal, your vision is worthless. So is it doable? Is it acceptable? Third and final, when it comes to our content questions, are they believable? What did we say before? Write the vision, make it plain upon tablets, that the one who reads it will run. Are they believable? You've got to write that vision in a way that you can anticipate achieving it. Are they believable? Are they doable? Are they acceptable? Are they believable? Now that you know how this is going to relate to the individual, how this objective is going to relate to yourself or somebody else, let's talk about the form. The form. Move this just a little bit here. the form. I've said it before, but I don't think I've said it on TikTok specifically. So I want to make a note here. The no, I have said this. I have said that. I talked about this when we dealt with dreams and the unconscious mind. That the unconscious mind does not process negative words. All right. Now, I don't when I say negative, I don't mean that doesn't process bad things. Let me put it this way. It doesn't process negation. So a prophet, what is negation? Negation is the thing that makes AI slop so irritating. Haven't you read some of this AI slop these days? It says, it's not this, it's that. Have y'all read that before? That's negation. Definitely. It didn't just grind your gears. That's negation. So when you are saying something, when you're impressing a vision, a goal, and objective, don't use negative words. In other words, don't use words like not and don't and can't and whatever. If you have the notion of not, that's not how your unconscious mind works. Your unconscious mind works from the positive, not from the negative. Think about it. If if I say you can't drive, the first thing that comes to your mind is driving. And then you go back and undo that. That's how you create a negation. But the first impulse is towards the positive or the affirmative. And then you have to go back and erase it or reverse it, right? That's how the unconscious mind works. It just doesn't go back and reverse it. So when you speak to it and you say, I am not sick, I'm coming to that. I'm coming to the let me say I'm on number is that number five? I'm on number one right now in form. I'm coming. Kiana asks a impeccable question. So your negation, right? So when you say, for example, these so-called affirmations, right, that are not affirmations, but so-called affirmations that say, I'm not sick, right? Now you over there hacking up phlegm. I'm not sick. You know why your unconscious mind does not respond to that? Because it avoids the negation. It doesn't hear the not part. It just hears I am sick. It doesn't hear I am not sick. It hears I am sick. All right. So when you say, I'm not broke, I'm not broke, I'm not broke 50 times, you're just beating the drum of that which you do not want. Your unconscious mind is hearing, I am broke, I am broke, I am broke. All right. Those are buttons that don't register. Those are keys that don't register upon the keyboard of your unconscious mind, AKA your soul, what the Bible calls your heart. So, are they doable? Are they acceptable? Are they believable? So when you write out your objective, you've got the vision, you've seen the goal, you begin to pull out objectives. All right. How do you approach the objective? Are they doable? Are they acceptable? Are they believable? These are the ones you need to focus on. That's the direction the vision is calling you into here, because these are the things that God is requiring of you, that which is doable and it is acceptable and it is believable. When someone wants to change behavior, we were talking about this the other day, Derek, about behavioral management and behavioral change, right? What can you change? Oftentimes, the thing that you can change is your consciousness, your approach, your awareness of the situation, your perspective, your paradigm, your opinion. These things you can change. And oftentimes, your behavior that you can change. All right. This is the petition paper 101. So content one, are they doable? The individual's level of difficulty. Number two, are they acceptable? Describing the behavior the individual actually intends to do something about, right? If they don't intend to do anything about it, don't make that an objective. My mentor would say you're fixing the wrong problem. It's a problem and it should be fixed, but you're fixing the wrong problem. The last question of content is, are they believable? In other words, your objective should reflect outcomes the individual can anticipate achieving. Now, lastly, the form. There's 7 parts of your form. Number 1, as I said before, to every extent possible, objectives should not contain negative words or words mentioning undesirable behaviors or words that may be misconstrued. So you want to know, how do you write a petition? Here you go. Is it doable? Is it acceptable? Is it believable? Is it positive? Right? So don't put, I'm no longer single. If you write, I am no longer single, what is your unconscious mind hearing? Tell me out here.
Yeah, friendship is, you know, what you like, vaccine.
And longer. If you say, I am no longer single, it's hearing, I am bleep longer single.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you said like perfect because when you said the sick one, I was about to say, well, I am no longer sick. Uh, You still are sick
Exactly.
because they know the same man.
Exactly.
So the conscious is just like, no, you are still that.
Yes.
And so we're gonna remain that way.
Yes. When you say, I am no longer sick, the unconscious mind hears, I am bleep longer sick. This is why I tell you most of the stuff is not affirmation. They're not affirming anything. It's negation more than affirmation. Right? To affirm something means to make it firm, make it solid. So the question, are they doable? Are they acceptable? Are they believable? Are they positive? The second dimension of form. Objectives should be stated from the perspective of the individual. In other words, I, my. So the question there is, are they self-reference or self-referential? Right? Not it's going to happen. Don't make it abstract. Remember, the unconscious mind sees no one beyond itself. So it's either self or nothing. So don't put it out there in abstraction. Don't put 5,000 is coming. That doesn't concern the unconscious mind, so it's not going to be concerned with it. It's, well, you know. So are they doable? Are they acceptable? Are they believable? Are they positive? Are they self-referenced? First person perspective. Me, myself, and I. I got 9 minutes. Let me wrap up. Objectives should not be stated in the future tense. I said that already. The scripture said that already, right? Habakkuk chapter 2. Objectives should not be stated in the future tense. They should have a present orientation. So ask the question, are they doable? Are they acceptable? Are they believable? Are they positive? Are they self referenced? Are they present oriented? So you certainly should not be saying 5,000 is coming. That's not present tense, nor is it self referential. Okay. These things weaken your unconscious ability to impress upon the ether. Notice when Christ prayed, he said, Thy kingdom come, not it's coming, thy kingdom come. When he sent them out to preach, he said, when you go to these cities, say to them, the kingdom has come unto you. Right? And I know this is a very different change of thinking, a change of approach, a change of paradigm, how you go about with your miracle management. But you need a change of paradigm. The Bible calls a change of paradigm repentance. Matthew 4, from that time on, he preached to them saying, repent, repent. Repent is from the Greek word metanoi. Noi is a verb for nous, N-O-U-S, meaning mind. Meta, we obviously know means to change, like metamorphosis, right? Metamorphosis changes the form, metanoi changes the mind. You have to approach this differently, have to think about this differently. Why? For the kingdom of God is at hand. The way that you move it from being at hand to in hand is by repentance, changing your mind about it. He didn't say go to heaven. He said, heaven come, thy kingdom come. Are they doable? Are they acceptable? Are they believable? Are they positive? Are they self reference? Are they present oriented? Objectives should be stated in observable behavioral terms. Other words, in action words. There should be a verb in there somewhere. What action can you take? What action will you take? Because the question is it measurable? How will you know it's working? How will you measure that? What are your behavioral metrics? Right? If you want a garden by fall, then one of your measurable metrics is going to be you planting, plants every 2 weeks or whatever. That's an action. That's measurable. You don't have to wonder whether you did it or didn't do it. All right, now to Kiana's question. They've been patient. 5, the fifth dimensional form of objective. Objectives should not be set up for an overly long time. They should be set up for the short range. For example, for about 30 days. So the question is, are they set for the immediate future. Sometimes if you put something off for too long, you lose momentum instantly. You say, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. Right? The unconscious mind only recognizes the present moment. So make it time constrained. Make your objectives time constrained. No more than 30 days. All right? You got 4 minutes. Objectives should be stated singly, meaning compound sentences or compound statements of intent are likely to lead to confusion and are difficult to measure, and they disperse your forces. Right? You're writing a petition paper and it's and you got 15, 11 commas in there. Have one thing, singleness of mind. David said, one thing have I desired, and that have I sought after. And pull all of your forces behind that one thing for the next 30 days. Look at the wisdom of God. God gave the dog 4 legs, didn't he? And with 4 legs, I mean 4 good legs, he can still only walk in one direction at a time. So are they doable? Are they acceptable? Are they believable? Are they positive? Are they self-reference or self-referential? Are they present-oriented? Are they measurable? Are they set for the immediate future? Talk about your objective, right? So out of the vision, you pull the goals, and out of the goals, you're pulling the objectives. Are they set for the immediate future? We said that. Are they stated simply? No compound sentences, no compound sentences of intent. You're going to get confused. It's going to be hard to track and measure, and you're going to disperse your forces. Lastly, objectives should be as short as is possible. I said to you earlier, I gave um, the experiment of describing your day in 6 words or less. Statements of intention are easier to work with when they are trimmed of excess verbiage. Are they brief? Are they brief? Are they stated simply? Are they set for the immediate future, meaning within the next 30 days? Are they measurable? Have you put an action to them, action words to them? What can you actually do? Like tangibly do? Are they present oriented? Are they self referenced? Are they positive? Are they believable? Are they acceptable? Are they doable? If they are, then they're ready. Then they're ready. All right. That's your crash course in manifestation management, or I like to call miracle management. What are some of your takeaways or add tos? What have you heard that stood out to you, that's standing out to you? And what is this saying to you? What are you hearing in this?
What I gathered from this prophet is that like the the unconscious is in the eternal, right? And so um when we are saying those statements or those affirmations, it has to be, how can I say, communicated and said to yourself in a way that um, that is in the opposite of the current state that you're in. So, for example, like how you were saying, those two examples, like the one of being single or the one of being sick, right? Not using those negative terms because regardless, the unconscious is still going to pick it up as you're still down, right? You're still sick or you're still single. So your statements for your affirmations rather have to be said in such a way that, yeah, that has to be in the it has to be in the opposite of that, but in the positive. Mhm. Okay, I understood what you meant by that.
Yes, absolutely. You're putting the power of God behind something. So you can't put it behind nothing. This is why negation doesn't work, right? It's like sending out an unstoppable force. Your knots in your nose are not going to delay or defer, disperse it. It's just gonna find a way around it. It's like a flowing current, a river. You can put all the no's you want there, all the knots you want there. It's going to avert and divert around it. He sent out his word, he said, and it will not return back void. It will accomplish that which it was sent forth to do. And he gives us an example, gives a principle or a parable. He said, as the water goes forth in the rain and waters the earth. So he says that this works analogous to the water cycle. Your force of intent, right? God in you goes out. Christ said, out of your belly shall flow living water, right? This is what physicists now call the quantum foam. This is what our ancients called the ether. It's going to go up and out of you, and it's not going to stop until it fulfills its purpose, its agenda, right? Heaven is not hearing what comes out of your head, so to speak. Heaven is hearing what's coming out of your heart. As a man thinketh in his heart, or rather, as that man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So the heart is between the spirit and the soul. This is why it becomes our megaphone into the spiritual world, right? This is what Paul in the New Testament calls the spirit of your mind. It's not your mind, it's the spirit of your mind. It's the basement of the mind. It's what we call today the unconscious or the subconscious. So you must impress that. Whatever you impress that with is what the spirit will express back to you. This is how the internal world and the external world work together. I'm seeing the internal world and the eternal world work together. You hit it right on the head there. Anyone else? The mic is yours.
Can you hear me?
I can loud and clear. Thank you.
Um, I, I'm so grateful to actually come on this live. I was going to bed, and I just felt like I needed to go on TikTok, and your live came up, and it has really been confirmation for me
Mm,
because there was a vision that was given a long time ago, and I kept saying, with the person that we both had the same vision, I was like, there's something that we should be doing.
mm,
And I said, we need to inquire God because I feel like we're going around in the wilderness,
mm-hmm,
And I said, if we keep going around in the wilderness, those people have eventually died out
mm-hmm.
and died in the wilderness. So, um, just what you're saying with the action and with the having the timing, and I was just like, "Oh God, this is really resonating with me." So I'm I've just been soaking it up, and I'm really grateful for this live. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Bless God for you. I'm glad you heard what you needed to hear.
Thanks.
All right, Nick, the mic is yours. By you, don't be shy. You already know this is your you have a hot seat here. We always keep a warm seat for you.
Hey, I was around my daughter and she's it's a lot of that to leave. I wait for her to first. But huh? So thank you for I just wanted to say thank you for confirming so many things that I've been thinking before. Um I even do believe that. So what's so funny is that I made a decision to actually do something. You mentioned something about breaking generational curses,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like literally like the day before I first encountered you here on TikTok. I had made a firm decision in my mind that I was going to do something concerning that within my own family, and I feel as if feel as if me finding out about you and the things that you teach are one of those situations. And it's like when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Uh, and so I just wanted to say, basically, thank you for confirming that I made the right decision and I'm on the right path. There were some things that I had hesitated on uh, and procrastinated on. Look, once I made that decision and I stuck to it and I went through with it, now all sorts of revelations have been coming to me concerning things about my family. And especially with the class that you're doing tomorrow, I feel like all of that is has to do with the work um that was prophesied to me about what I had to do concerning my family. So I just wanted to say thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
Well, God bless you, God bless you, God bless you, and God bless you forever. Wow, wow. I'm glad to know that you were in the right place at the right time and that we were doing the right thing at the right time. Wow, wow. Jamil, have you heard anything? Jamil?
Very old Lord on.
You still trying to get that calamari to do right?
I stepped away from the phone for a second.
No, I was asking. We're wrapping up now. It's 3 o'clock in the AM. But for you to give us our final words and takeaways from tonight, this morning, if you have any for us.
No, not academic. The presentation was definitely on point for the definitely know how to make the petitions and whatnot. So definitely was helpful with that one.
Grand, grand, grand. Very good. Listen, as she already stated, those of you who already have prepared yourself for our presentation tomorrow, well, no, excuse me, today. My goodness, I'm keep saying tomorrow, today at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's just a presentation, it's nothing fancy. Everybody's been calling it a class. They just say that because when Doc shows up, we'll leave it at that. It's just a presentation. We are absolutely ecstatic about having all the folks in there. 29 people have said yes, and they said yes quickly, and we're able to make this possible. We're doing something new with Telegram and seeing how that works out. It's been so easy and so simple so far. So we'll see how the Lord makes everything click for us. In the meantime, in between time, if you are a person that got your ticket, but you've not accessed the Telegram group or don't know how to get in there, I implore you, please send me your information, send me a message so I can make sure that you are in there. So when we go live in Telegram tonight, you will be able to catch the live feed, or if you're not able to, you'll be able to find the recording in there as well. So if you've already got your ticket, but have not gotten into the micro community, please say something. Let me know. Send me a message and we'll get you in there lickety split. In the meantime, in between time, I hold all of you in the light of God that never fails. God bless you all forever, and we'll see you on the other side. Good man, court job. At the point of the separation. Yeah, I'm old school. I don't believe in divorce. I gotta be right. This is what y'all call a salad. So there is more dressing on this thing. I'm just saying. I wasn't even the right one, but yeah. Yes, sir.
Hey,
Yeah.
where's y'all call? Sleeping.
Good evening. How are you, Malachi? How are you, Kadarius?
I'm doing pretty good. What about y'all? When I did the kiss the call this time? I was sleep as fuck like all day.
Hmm.
Hey, how you doing today? I'm not doing pretty good. I was about to say, what y'all any one of y'all job turkeys up? Yeah, I woke up. No, wasn't tonight like that whole planetary alignment thing with the planet doing the salsa in the sky or something like that? I don't know. Oh,
I thought it was Justin. That's what I picked up because I missed his call earlier.
Yeah, Justin had initiated the call, but I had told him in the chat prophet that we were in TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if he's probably knocked out sleeping. But I definitely wanted to hear from all of you because it's been quite some time. Because I think I've missed a couple of the other. Well, not that I've missed it, but
Sometimes 5 days. Yeah.
same.
hey, Cosmic. I talked to
Akima.
Dr. Cardone for about 2 hours today.
Dr. Corbo.
Yeah.
Lazarus. He's been on my mind. I gotta send him a I've been dodging him because I owe him something.
Okay. Yeah. I talked to Akiva for a while too. You know.
How was last job?
He said he was off the scene for a while because he didn't you know he wanted to get into it with himself a little bit more. So he coming back up slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't know he was from Arkansas. I thought he was Virginia or something like that.
Mm-hmm. You Arkansas. His elder was oh man, it just escaped me right now. Him and his wife, they were very well respected elders among the Gullah. And they actually taught him Gullah. That man can speak better Gullah than I can.
Yeah. Yeah, we ranted about that. We was talking about that. Yeah. Because I thought he was like a full white guy. Like, how you end up in this? I'm like, yeah, I got this, this, and this, you know.
You were back over.
Yeah, but hey, I'm ready for today, tomorrow, today, whatever, you know.
Man, I'm mixed up too. I was sitting earlier in the live. I said tomorrow. I said no, it's tonight.
Ready today, you know, tomorrow, whatever it is. I'm there. It started at 6 your time, right?
7.
No.
Okay. 6 my time.
Yeah.
Right.
There should be a reminder in there.
Oh, presentation, you know.
The old presentation.
Rain before start checking here.
No.
Watch out, kids.
No, none of that. There should be a when you go into the general thread, there should be an option for you to be notified when the stream starts.
I think with that type of thing, you have to like once you're in the Telegram chat to just put your notifications on. So like when you had sent we sent a myriad of stuff out like okay, so it's inside. So the notifications, just make sure you guys have that on.
Did come to a deal with a team of it on, when he get his cellular device, he's gonna go live in the group in the group that I got. It's terrible, whatever. So massive, wow. So I'm trying to bad slowly add more activity to my group. I gotta think it out first.
Yeah. That's the marvelous stuff.
Okay, that's your colleague that you were telling us about. You told me and heard about like he's in Ovia.
Yes.
What's good?
Oh, the doctor. Oh my.
Yeah.